All right, this is Savvy Trader, and this is for all those that missed the webinar that myself and Dr. No did the other day. So I just want to go through some scanning basics and touch some points that we went over for the webinar and bring everybody up to speed. And also, I'll post my PowerPoint in the Discord under the resources so you can refer back to it. So we're going to get started. I'm going to do everything in TOS on building a scan and kind of walk you through it. And you guys can get a handle on going from an idea to basically creating your own scans. So we'll get started. Okay, we'll briefly go over some of the topics I'm going to cover on how to develop an idea and building the basic core watch list, add elements to the watch list aligned with your strategy, and using the TOS platform to create the scan, multi-time frame process building, and what is next to power up the process. So let's dive into it. All right, so let's get started on how to develop an idea. So to begin with, when we initiate the development of an idea, at least for me, it involves technical analysis, identifying the patterns through the application of TA directly on the chart. So a basic idea could be something straightforward as a moving average, like the 50 simple moving average crossing the 200 simple moving average. So this serves, kind of like a baseline for further analysis. So, we can expand on the MA crosses and we can refine our approach, incorporating some different filters. This could be relative strength, relative weakness, MACD, if you have the compass, your Laguerre signals. It also can be scrutinizing above average trading volumes, candlestick patterns, new highs, new lows. And, this is a comprehensive approach and it's designed to narrow down the potential investment opportunities and highlight the most favorable stocks for trading. So we're looking for the best trades. We want to be able to sort from our strategy and to a list of stocks that meet that criteria. Now with my trading, everything starts with the basic core watch list. So, I've got a trade strategy that I want to implement. And so now I build upon my watch list is built from that strategy that I'm developing. So I trade options 90% of the time. So I want optional stocks with weekly expirations. The closing price is above 10. I like to have average volume above 1 billion shares. And this criteria can change from strategy to strategy. And it also depends on the market conditions. But this is my basic core list that I start with for most all of my trades. And I'm going to show you how to do that quickly in Think or Swim. Okay, so what we're going to do right here is in our scan for adding elements to the watch list. So we have a strategy and then we want to have our watch list. We're going to search the characteristics of what we need to meet the strategy criteria. So in this scan, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to do a long-term moving average stack. So the 50 on top of the 100 and the 100 over the 200. So that's my long-term bullish stack. I can add the short-term moving averages. Just for simplicity, I'll just do the longer terms. For the rising slope of the 21 EMA, I'll do that visually. Also incorporate a Hakanashi continuation or reversal pattern into it. So we'll kind of go from there. In the whole strategy, it's price to go above the 200 long-term moving averages, short-term moving averages, both stacked positively. And I'll incorporate a pullback within X number of bars to the 21 EMA, and then a cross below and a close above the 21 EMA. And those type of scans I typically do with another program I have, which is TC2000. But for right now, what we'll do is we're going to stick with TOS, and I'm going to build the TOS scan for you just to show you how to kind of work within the scan tab in TOS, and we'll do that next. Okay, let's get started here, and we're in Thinkorswim, and I am going to create a watch list. And the first thing you want to do is, if you're in your chart tab, working with your chart tab, come back into your scan tab. Once you get into your scan tab, then that's where the fun begins. And what I do is I start in my scan in, and I'm looking for our optionable stocks. So that's how I'm going to start building this. I'm going to intersect this with a weekly. So let me show you how many optionable stocks we have. 6,285. So that's a lot of stocks. I don't want to look at that many. And based on what strategy that I'm scanning for at the time, some of them, you want to limit the amount of stocks you look at. 20 is like perfect for me. 20 is usually all the returns I want to see. If I'm only getting 5, I'll loosen the parameters up. I'll show you how to do that. If I'm getting 150 returns, well then I'll sort those by volume, or I'll tighten up the parameters so I have just even based on the market conditions, I'm only going to see the best of the best. So first I'll go into optionable, and then I'll intersect this, and this will be just intersected from what is already built in Thinkorswim into the weeklies, and you'll see that I went to 609. So you might say, well, that's not enough, and it might not be enough for you, but out of 609 stocks on a daily basis, I can find something to trade. So it works for me. There's only 2 other parameters that I add to it as a core watch list. The first one is going to be a filter on price. So I'll come into add filter, I'll go into the stock, and then what I'll do is I'll just come over and start at $10, and then I'll go from 609, and then the results that I get out of this is going to return, probably should be somewhere around 500, 510 actually. On this scan was the returns. And then the next filter I want to do is going to be a study filter. So I just come down here and go to study, and with the studies it defaults to ADX crossover. I'll just scroll down to volume, average volume, and then this is the average volume of the 50 period simple is greater than 1 million, and that works for me. So that'll be my next part of my scan, and I have 458 returns now. So this would be considered a core, and I have it in my system as my weekly master. So on my weekly master, my core list, I've got 458 stocks. So I'm going to start adding pieces to the puzzle to fit my strategy. So I'm looking for bullish stocks with the EMA 5100, 200 stacked, and a Hakanashi continuation or a reversal, which is going to be a flat bottom candle. So we'll see how many returns we get out of that. So let's go back into our add filter, and we're going to add a study. Defaults to ADX crossover, as always. Go into custom, and now we have our custom filter. You working with it, you can work with it as a condition. You can work in a ThinkScript editor, which if you're fluent in the Thinkorswim script, you can copy and paste script into here, or you can build your own on the fly. we're going to work with the condition wizard, which is pretty simple. And all you do is go into condition wizard. I go to the edit function. Once I get there, I'm going to go to study again, and then I'm going to look for my 50. That's where I'm going to start from. I'm going to look for my 50 SMA. Once I get to my 50 SMA, I confirm that everything is correct. I'm looking for the period is a day. It's a simple, the length is 50, and it's based on the close. And I want that to be greater than the 100. So that's another study. And then I'll come over and surf until I find my 100, confirm that everything is correct, the day, with the period, average type simple, price is close, and it's within 1 bar, and I save that. So then I have this condition, which is already built now on the 50 simple moving average is going to be above the 100, and I'm going to add the second part, which is the 100 is greater than the 200, and simply I just go through the process again. I just look up my studies and I pull out my 100 again, and now this one is going to be greater than my 200, and that part of the scan will be complete at this point. Just need to confirm that the period's correct, the average type, and the price on close is correct. And I click OK. And now that's part of my scan. I can go from 458 to 132. And then the fourth and final part of this scan is going to be another study filter, which I had built already. And I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to walk through the custom filter again. The aggregation daily, yeah, I'm going to keep it at that. I'll come back over here. I'll go to my studies. And then this is important. On how you name your studies is related directly to how easy it is to find them. So HA for Hakanashi for me, and I'm going to use this flat bottom or top. And all this means is on a flat bottom candle for Hakanashi, flat bottom's a continuation, or excuse me, or a reversal. Arrow up, that's just how it plots. It plots an arrow on this study on the chart, but it'll work in a scan too. Shows arrow up, so basically arrow up means bullish, arrow down means bearish. So I want arrow up, and I want this to be true, and I want it to be within 1 bar, and I save that. I click OK, and that's pretty much it. I can just show you one more thing. If you wanted to, on certain scans, you can actually, when you're creating these, you can add another condition like I did previously. And if I didn't have stack moving averages in here, I could look for the flat bottom signal, and I could actually have the conditions to be met for either one. I could say flat bottom arrow up or flat bottom arrow down. So you'll get the hang of it after you've been working with things for a while. I'm going to do the scan one more time, and I get one. I get HUT. So that's the only stock that passed my filter. Whenever this happens, what I will quite frequently do is I'll start loosening up some of my standards here. Sometimes, like for the daily, for the moving averages, I have to leave it on the daily for the scan. It won't be correct, but what I can do is, like for the flat bottom, flat top, I can say, hey, I want to scan for that on a hourly basis instead of a daily basis. And now I'll get more returns, but these returns are based on this signal off of hourly chart. So there's no need to have to go back through the script and add or subtract stuff to it. You can just change the aggregation on the fly, but just always remember that you have changed the aggregation when you go into your widget if you're looking for your watch list over here. And also, whenever you're creating your scans, on your scan tab, you can customize your panel for your scan tab to any way that you want it. And when I get here, a lot of times I'll just scan right from the scan tab, and I can scan by the relative volume right here. I can scan from a score-based system that I have implemented. I can scan from the Laguerre RSI, and as I click on these headers, what it's doing is based on the parameters of the scan, it's going to show me the, these are bull pluses, so I know that the Laguerre right here on a daily basis is pegged out, it's max, so it's bull plus. Bull on the rise means it's above the 20 and it's rising up to the 80. So I have configured all these so I can see these on the fly also, and I can look for like for Sentinel for S, I can see that the relative volume was 1.48. So 1.00 would be just the average. Anything above 1.00 will be above the average. The score is all based on code that's written in the script itself, which I don't want to get into it for this. I just try to make it as simple as I can. But you can see how the your settings here that you can scan, and you can see a lot more detail here than you can in your widget unless you slide your chart window way out. So let's just look at one of these. We'll look at S. I'll look at Netflix too. So let's go to the chart. We're going to go to Sentinel. I've watched this. This has been on a roll for a while, and you can see it's a flat bottom candle. You can see how many flat bottom candles we've had in a row. So this thing's been really great. And this is all the daily chart, so you can see it broke out of compression here, and it's just started to move up. Nice big candle there. It continues up. Nice price pattern. I like this. This looks like right here they had earnings. They had earnings on this date, so this was probably driven by after earnings. And I think Netflix and FLX was another one we'll look at real quickly. And you can see Netflix right here, flat bottom candle, and got a little tail under body here, and away we go. So that's pretty much it as far as the scan goes. And like I said, just play around with it. You'll get used to it over a period of time. What I can do is I can actually share this scan in the Discord if you guys want it. There's nothing proprietary in it, so you're welcome to use it. And I'll be in the Discord with Dr. No on Monday. Just wanted to do a short video to kind of show you, some tricks about working with Thinkorswim using the scanner, and then I'll do one with Dr. No. We'll do TC 2000, and we'll go through it and see some of the features in TC 2000. So I hope it helps. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks. All right, so this is probably a little redundant now, just to kind of finish up my PowerPoint right here. Just make sure that whenever you navigate into the scan tab, if you trade an optionable, just choose your optionable stocks here. And also, once you have your all optionable, if you want to do weeklies, you can intersect with your weeklies, and that's under your public folder under weekly. And then once we get our all optionable, we have our weeklies and intersect, then you can start adding your filters, your number one add filter, select the stock in the drop down, and this will populate the scan tab with stocks. And then I choose the close, and then after the close I choose 10 for my stock level, and I don't have any maximum parameters in those at that point. and then that filters down my list a little bit more. And then next we'll jump into doing volume. All right, so next we're going to jump into our volume filters. So we want to add filters, select study. Then we go over to our volume, then scroll over to average volume, and this populates the row with the average volume of 50. Simple moving average of the volume greater than 1 million shares. You can just adjust these parameters, but I'd leave them like that. And you can see that the candidate count has decreased from 6 to 495. All right, so we established filters for stocks exceeding $10, volume surpassing 1 million shares over 50-day average. And now we're going to build up a stack moving average filter. So the 50 SMA greater than the 100 and 100 greater than the 200. And we'll go from number 1, add filter. Then we go over to custom. And then we proceed to add the studies individually from here. Okay, we'll just walk through this real quick. And this step, it might appear to be a little daunting, but practice, it makes it a little bit easier. And it's really crucial for constructing your own scans in thinkorswim. So always start back up at the add filter, and then we want to add study. And then this always defaults to the ADX crossover. So you want to scroll down to custom. And then in the custom window, utilize the wizard. And then we select each of the moving average studies. So we're going to lay them on top of each other, 50, 100, and 200 into a script. And you can see that in the ThinkScript editor. And, with the editor output, you can see that the 50 is greater than the 100. At number 4, number 5, the 100 is greater than the 200. So, I mean, this combination of scripts, it establishes stack moving averages. You can save that script, as stack moving averages, or name it whatever you want to. So you can recall it. And in this case, it's a bullish configuration. The symmetry is bullish. 50 on top of the 100, 100 on top of the 200. And the process becomes more intuitive the more time you spend with thinkorswim. And really, it's indispensable for crafting, your tailored scans on the platform. Okay, so now this is the last part of the scan for this Hakanashi continuation or reversal. So we're back into adding a filter. And then you want to choose custom, and then you want to edit the condition. I have a Hakanashi flat bottom study. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose that study and then go to plot, and then the plot is going to be arrow up. That's number 4. So that's a bullish condition right there. I'm going to check that the condition is true. Within how many bars? My aggregation is daily, so it's going to be 1. If I don't get any returns, I'll change that to 2, so that'll be 2 periods of the aggregation. So if it's daily, it'll be looking 2 days back if the condition's met. So I save all those conditions, save, okay, and then that's pretty much completes that scan right there. Okay, so the scan is now finalized, and we had 600 weekly stocks to look at with weekly options, and we sorted that down with parameters from stocks exceeding $10, average volume over 1 million, stock moving averages 50, 100, 200, in a bullish configuration, and then finally we incorporated a Hakanashi reversal continuation pattern on the daily time frame. And all we have to do now is name the scan and save it to our scan list, and we're finished. And you can see that we had 17 candidates. So that gives us quite a few that we can look at. To me, that's about perfect. I don't really want to look at more than about 20. I'll refine my scan on the fly. You can see me do that in the little video that I did. But I hope this helps everybody. If you have questions, just catch myself or Dr. No on the Discord, and we'll try to help as much as we can. So good luck with your trading, and we'll catch up to you later. Thank you.